Number five categories as part of the 101 errors or mistakes people make in auction. Category five is talking about legal representation. This is a very important aspect of buying property in auction. Just before I go into that, just wanted to remind you, if you want to know more about auction, we have a published book on Amazon. So please make do with this. Help yourself. Don't make any mistakes. So we've documented a lot on this, and also the 101 series we're sharing would help you to avoid possible pitfalls that people don't think about. And there's a lot more on our website. There's a lot of blogs, there's a lot of checklists, there's a lot of tools that we're bringing on. Just make sure that you help yourself, educate yourself, and know when you're making the right step. So let's get into category five, legal representation, part of the 101 error. So now we are on number 31. So 31 is using cheap solicitors. A lot of people feel I can use the low cost solicitors. It's going to save me 500, 200, 1,000, whatever it is, but not forgetting the fact that they are working to a deadline. And most solicitors would not turn around a property conveyancing within a 20-day timeline. So that is one of the major issue. If you make that mistake, it's going to cost you a lot more in terms of the 10% you're likely to lose, and also other fees if you're taking a short-term loan, valuation, and everything else you've done. So very careful. Choose the right solicitors for the right job. And if you have any question on solicitors, we've got good, reputable partners that we work with. Just drop us a message and we'll be able to see who is available and have the capacity to work with you. Number 32 is using solicitors unfamiliar with bridging. So similar stuff. Some you might charge you a lot filling, but they are not familiar with the process. The bridging process is a completely different kettle of fish stuff. Yes, it's still the same legal conveyancing, but a lot of the legal pack, for example, is already handled or is already being received. So it's a different process, but there are a lot of conditions that they need to meet from the lenders that makes it a lot different. So you want to find solicitors that already understand bridging, not just understand bridging, understand all the partners involved so that they can fast track things when they need to. Number 33 is dry representation when safety is separate. Conflicts of interest can delay or derail funding. A lot of short-term lenders now will use dual representation. It means that the same solicitor is asking for you as a buyer and for the bank that is providing the funds. So it makes things quicker. But again, there might be need for separate parties so that they can keep things separate. There's no conflict of interest. So just to be mindful of that. And that could delay the whole process. 34, not obtaining independent legal advice. This usually happens at the tail end, especially when you have a limited company, or especially if you're given a guarantee on the property. We'll do other videos. Check our videos on if you put a guarantee on a limited company and ILA, independent legal advice. This is part of the legal process, but what the lender is saying is you want to make sure that you are speaking to a separate solicitor to give you advice, that you know what you're doing essentially. So that's very important, and it really work for PG, which is personal guarantee, and if you have director's guarantee as well. So that's number 34. We'll move on to number 35 of the 101 mistakes, 101 errors that people make. Not understanding PG obligations. PG obligation, it's your personal guarantee. As a director of a company, you are given your guarantee for the funds that's been borrowed. So if anything happens to that property or to that asset, what you're saying is they have the right to come to you to get this right. So a lot of people don't understand that. So I tell people, be very careful, understand this properly, understand the process before you go ahead. So that's very important. Number 36, not reviewing certificates of title. Solicitors certify the legal risk. Borrowers rarely read it. So before a solicitor completes, they would send you the final report, their final inquiries and everything, that they are satisfied. It's still your liability to make sure that you read that and to check that there's not been any error. It's not just leaving it with the solicitors. I would definitely advise that you read it and make sure you understand that. Number 37, it's not understanding legal undertakings. So this is some of the terms that usually comes up when you're doing bridging, when you're doing short-term finance, and it's very important that you are aware of those things so that it doesn't come to you as a surprise. We've talked about in the independent legal advice. We talked about personal guarantee. We've talked about, now we're talking about undertakings. Undertakings are the backbone of day one funding. What that means is a solicitor is saying that before they kick off the process, before they kick off this, they want to get confirmation from the other party that if for any reason the mortgage is not going through, that they will still get their fees. So they might not take their fees upfront, but they want a confirmation as signed by the borrower that your solicitor is giving them the undertaking that they will get their fees. So that's very important. Minor details, but if you don't know, it might cause you some delays. It might cause, especially if you're doing ILA, it might cause you delays to find the other solicitors that might be able to do that for you. Sometimes most solicitors would request, or most lenders would say they want a physical ILA. So you need to find a solicitor's office you can go to make that happen. But recently, there's a lot more people that will allow you to do virtual, so which saves a lot of time. So all of this is about the timing and the time scale required to make sure that you do not make any mistakes. So please be mindful. Any of this error could actually cause you unnecessary delay or cost you the funds that you put in. And thank you for listening to this again. If you have any question, if you want to jump on a clarity call, please book in on our website, auction360, auction360.co.uk. So we've got a lot of checklists you can use, a lot of resources that can help you, a lot of videos, and a lot of tools that we are bringing on board just to make sure that your experience in buying an auction is not going to be something that you cost you money or you regret on. So again, don't forget, get on Amazon, pick this book, and it will save you significantly from making errors in auction.